Our next speaker, Georgi Varzonovtsev, is a product designer at Payhawk, one of Bulgaria's most successful fintech startups. He has some courage to say that even truck drivers are happy to use his designs. Both claim Mr. as expected from a BMW enthusiast. Today, we'll share honest lessons from implementing AI agents in a complex financial product. When does AI truly help? When does it get in the way? And what would Georgi do differently if he had to start over again? So, Georgi, please join me on stage. The audience is all yours.
Thank you, thank you.
Talking about BMWs later.
My presentation is in Bulgarian, the slides. I thought that I will talk in Bulgarian, but apparently there are people who do not speak Bulgarian. Can you raise your hands? Okay, so everybody, blame them. Because my English is not that good. Anyway, this is my topic. It's AI agents in Payhawk. And I wanted to label my presentation "Stay hungry, stay foolish," but apparently it was just afternoon, so it's not possible. Anyway, that's me and my family, and probably the founder of Ghibli animation house who hates me for this, but I really like these illustrations, so that's me. I'm a senior principal product designer, and I've been a designer from 1890. Sorry, I'm not Georgi Dimitrov. So I like that people know who Georgi Dimitrov is still. So anyway, but for like 20 or more than 20 years, and I worked on like the first half of my career was mainly websites for banks, media, and so on. Then I translated to software development and product development. And now I'm working in Payhawk, which is, I'm not sure how many of you know, it was 2 years ago, it was first Bulgarian startup that became valuated at $1 billion, which apparently is called unicorn. I didn't know that before, but that's the hype about it. And what does Payhawk do is it's like a bank, and the goal there is to be the biggest bank in the world, but without having any money. We don't hold any money. So Payhawk handles all company spend, like cards, bank payments, and so on, in a way that's very easy for individual employees to spend on anything and save time for companies on all this, like, you know, what burden is to go to a bank office and ask for a new card or sign documents, or in Payhawk, all of these bureaucratic processes are just like, for example, issuing a new card is 2 clicks. And you're done, and it works, and you can start spending money. And the beauty of not only easily spending money, but accounting, or it integrates with all the very complex and nasty accounting softwares and ERPs. And so everything a company spends is properly accounted before tax authorities. And here, this is what we build now. This is the future of Payhawk. This is, for example, one of our travel agents. And the magic behind it, not only the conversational UI, but when it works, it looks at flight and hotels, accommodation, but it's not just a conversational UI, like, for example, Booking or Kayak or something like this. It is hyper-personalized experience because it knows all the company spend policies. It knows the company budget for a trip. It knows, for example, your preferred seat in the airplane, or if you prefer certain hotels. For example, if it happens to us a lot. We travel for conferences or events across Europe, and when we go to London, for example, if somebody stays in a nice hotel, they recommend that hotel to other people in the company. So if the next person goes in London, they know that there is a very nice hotel next to the office. And this is the future, but it's Figma prototype, not gonna lie. But we are releasing this in 2 weeks on 3rd of December, so it's not completely fake. And even though it looks nice, maybe, not sure, we are building this as a suite of agents which are going to work in our clients' environments. And we are calling this Office of the CFO, of Chief Finance Officer. The idea is that instead of having and hiring a lot of people to do all the things a finance team does, to use our agents to do that work and save the mundane task for the agents and people to focus only on the hard and difficult problems to solve. But the first thing we did in the beginning of the year was a so-called chasing bot, chasing agent. And what's chasing? For example, when you spend something like company money, you need to provide some documents, like an invoice, or if it was a taxi, right, you need to attach the receipt from the taxi drive. And people often forget about this, like they get the receipt or it stays in their inbox and whatever. And because usually accounting works at the end of the month, you need to collect all these documents and present them to the government. And the accountants start to freak out usually at the end of the month. Give me all the documents. They start messaging in Slack or emails or calling all people, just provide me these documents. So we decided that we'll create an agent that does that for them. And how we evaluated this. So of course we didn't sell, thanks God, we didn't sell this to a customer because the initial feedback from our internal dog fooding, like dog fooding is when you give your product to the employees of the company so you can firsthand experience the product you're building in the company. So luckily, we are a company and we have expenses. And of course, there were a lot of not very nice experiences when you talk to that agent or when it chases you. So it was like it didn't know what to do, or it said, it's not my job, figure it out on yourself, or it made up completely random facts, like it was completely different accounting categories, codes, or amounts, or whatever. So it was very unreliable and stupid. And this was a learning for us that we built the UI, the conversational UI. It looked modern, like you're just talking to a machine, but it didn't provide any value. And that's the feedback actually we got from customers when we launched. We launched an enhanced version of it, but still the feedback was that the problem we solved for them, it wasn't that, for example, when you are in a taxi, you need to scan the receipt, because we have the mobile app with the Payhawk mobile app there, and just you receive a push notification, take a picture, and that's it. And the customer said, this is not the problem we are having. We are having a problem which is with their called transactions, card not present transactions. It's, for example, if you're paying for Figma and every 10th of the month you receive an invoice from Figma. But for example, this could be 10th of the month could be midnight in Saturday. So you're sleeping, you're not working, and you don't know that anything happened at all. And client said, okay, this is the hard problem for us. These expenses that happen when people don't know about them. So what we are building right now, I'm not gonna show it today, but this problem we solve with another agent, which is basically the first time you receive such a notification about such an expense. A very good example is, I think, I know the mobile operator, which send you an email, but in the mail they say to download the invoice, you need to go to the website, go to this menu, and download from there a zip file, which you need to unzip and upload the invoice. And what we are building right now is an agent which asks you to do this one time, but next month it will make all of this on its own, and you will only receive a notification when everything is done and the expense is filed. I'm sorry, I'm not going to dive deep into our actual agents, because for me, this year was a challenge on, as a designer, as a professional, how to build all these agents. So this is what I'm more interested to talk to you about. And what happened in our company, it was like in the spring, like the board members and the investors said, okay, you're growing very nice, we're a very promising startup, but as we were talking, in the United States, in Silicon Valley, probably every week 15 startups like you emerge. They use AI. There are 5 people in some garage, and they'll in a year be like eradicate you completely because you're already 400 people, and you don't stand a chance against AI and these much leaner companies. So our CEO came back from I think it was some kind of secret gathering in Lake Garda with CTOs of NVIDIA, SAP, and like, yeah, Illuminati of the world, I guess. Anyway, and he said, okay, guys, there is no turning around. We need to do this. And he, of course, very smart guy, explained it in a very nice formula, 5, 10, 85. So the 5% is the low-hanging fruit, which is every individual in the company should become like AI proficient, like to use ChatGPT, Cursor, Copilot, Perplexity, whatever they want, but to increase their own productivity. And developers, really, 90% of the developers are using already tools like this, and it's giving very nice results. But it's not enough. It's according to his theory. And the next thing that a company can do is to incorporate a ready-made solution to enhance a whole, like a department or a function in the company. For example, in Payhawk, we are using Fin AI agent of Intercom. And every time our customers seek support, they first talk to the AI agent. And currently, this solves like, I think, more than 80% of all support requests never go to a person. And this helps us, like our support team is 10 person, not in India, 10,000 people. So this is already working very well for us because we don't need to hire like hundreds of people to do this. But the major leap is to change your company in such a way that whole processes are automated so that there is as little as possible human effort and opportunity for human mistakes. So everything happens automatically, and only the hard and very like difficult problems go to a person. And yeah, this requires a major like restructuring of the whole company. This is something that we will probably do in the next few years. But because we are still not very big company, like we are not VMware or anywhere near that. So it will be easier for us. And so if you don't believe my boss, I guess everybody knows this person, Jacob Nielsen of Norman Nielsen Group, the biggest usability consultancy in the world. And this year he started his own personal blog and podcast I don't know why it's not in the Norman Nielsen group, but anyway. And since the spring, he started these articles every week. Stop doing what you're working. In 5 years, you need to be AI gurus, or you're going to be digging in the trash cans and sleeping on the streets. So, and this is all he repeats all the time, like start investing in learning AI right now, because in 5 years you will be obsolete. So I tend to agree with him as what I see as a progress in AI. And his statement is that all the things that we do, like I'm a designer, I like Figma and doing all that stuff, like creating wireframes, the tokens, the typography, the variables, the whatever, and even usability, doing usability research studies. He says this will be like if it takes you now 1 week, 2 weeks, in a few years it will be 30 minutes task for AI, and it will do it with very high quality. So there is no, like you won't be able to compete in any way with this. And what you need to do, he says, is have this skill of agency, which is to be able to proactively direct what happens with you and the products you build, so that they, whatever you deliver as a product solves real user problems and solves business use cases. And this is an example he gave from an article from Bloomberg about Daydream, kind of startup, one of these hundreds that come up. So, and what they did is they ran 20 different, but really different ideas as prototypes, like designed, developed, and delivered, and they tested them, and they decided that 19 of them is no good, but one of them was really good idea, then proceeded with it. And this is really this huge magnitude of, like, you cannot do this without a team of hundreds of people to do this right now with old ways, like designing first, prototyping, developers, and so on. But with AI, it's really easy. And so the theory of Jakob Nielsen is that teams need to become like pancakes. So very flat hierarchy without a lot of levels of managers and managers of managers and GMs and so on, but flat teams where everybody is AI proficient enough so that they know how the thing works and they just can execute and then execute 20 ideas in parallel, but have do the hard time thing to figure out which is the winning one, which solves the real problem. And this is why in the beginning of the year, I realized that I'm senior principal designer with 20 years of experience. I felt like junior in this position. And fortunately enough, this happened to me a couple of times already. It's like Web 2 became in the beginning of the 2000 year. Then the iPhone came, which the small form factor, where everybody that I knew about designing websites on static screen with people sitting in front of desks, everything changed. Then this is a screenshot of Mark Zuckerberg's presentation of when they opened Messenger platform for chatbots in 2017. And this is the product Progress Native Chat that I worked on, and I presented on UX Sofia in 2018, 7 years ago. And when I look at this, it's like a horrendous experience. But right now, right there, I thought it was like, wow, SWOT algorithms, natural language processing. It was like very fancy, very interesting. But anyway, it was stupid and didn't handle anything at all. And now AI exploded, as we all know. And the question to me was, how do I become not junior? So, and because in Payhawk, the initial working on this AI agent, it was pretty much technical, like which model we use, where do we host it, how much it costs. It was not a very, like designers were not very involved in that process. So what do you do? I decided that in order to work on AI projects, I need to have some experience. But it's like when you start working first time, they tell you, do you have experience? No, I don't. But in order to get experience, I need to work something. So it's a bit of a circle. And what I did, I bought subscriptions for everything that I could, like Perplexity, Cursor, Lovable, Firebase, Google AI, ChatGPT, and started exploring. And this is my list of the first screen of my projects in Lovable. But I'm going to talk about two of them, because I think for some people, I don't know why, it's hard to figure out which projects I can work with that. And what I worked on was, incidentally, I bought an electric car earlier this year. Not sure why electric specifically. I like the design. And it's Volkswagen, yeah, not BMW. Okay, and but I didn't know how much everything costs, because it's different. Like you have, when you go to a fuel petrol station, you say 20 leva, you drive 100 kilometers, and you know, in 100 kilometers, 20 leva. With electric cars, it's like kilowatts, it's 20 cents, but on night tariff, it's different, and it's like you cannot figure out what happens. And turns out these cars, new cars, send all their data about my bad driving and where I go and what I do to the servers of Volkswagen, which is horrible, maybe, but gave me the opportunity to develop an app which tracks exactly the costs I have. And I struggled with it for maybe 2 months. The process was very, because you need to connect to Volkswagen servers and take some data. And every time you ask, for example, I don't want this to be charging sessions, I want to be the price of the last charge. And then Lovable, what it does, it rewrites the whole app and everything is gone. It's broken and there is no turning back. So it was a lot of back and forth with this app. The second thing that I did recently, and took me only, I think, 1 or 2 days, is because I guess you say, not everybody buys an electric car to build a project in Lovable and to develop their AI skills. So the other thing I frequently do is we have things in our home that become obsolete, like kids, books, toys, my tech, and so on. And what I do is post these links to OLX, for example, in all my social networks. But I hate the OLX UI, where you have to fill a bunch of fields and upload photos and so on. So what I did was, my idea was to only take one picture of what I'm selling. And this picture is sent to Perplexity. Perplexity searches the web for this product and returns to my app the description, the name, the description, and the link to the manufacturer website. And then, with this information, I pass it to ChatGPT to write me the description, and I gave the AI instruction to write it in Bulgarian to be mildly funny and interesting, so that people come and enjoy their time on the website. And I made it. And because I guess we're running out of time, I have just a few observations of how this helps me now when I've done a couple of or 10 of these projects on my own, but it really starts paying off in my job. So it turns out it's really very simple to test, like to use conversational agent UI. For example, when we did the travel agent for Payhawk, it was really easy to tell ChatGPT, hey, pretend you're a travel agent for Payhawk, you know for example, this and this and this about your customer, like the spending policy, the budgets, and respond when employee of a company asks something about travel. And this is ChatGPT becomes easily takes this role and start answering. And you can very easily see how they respond, how it responds. Is it too long? Is it too short? Does it use emojis? Does it use bullet points? What it fails to do? So it's instead of spending time in Figma to build all these response and input boxes, you're already testing your conversational agent in a matter of minutes. And this, like it's called the system prompt. Turned out that it's really big part of how an AI agent works. And that's why we in Payhawk, what we have now is agents rulebook, which have this built-in like description of how the agent works. And it's pretty much like the design system you have for your interfaces, but for agents, it's just text. You give them instruction on how to respond, what to know, what their tone to be. And actually, it's really easy to make changes because it's just text. You write, no, you don't respond one-page answer, you respond concisely. And very helpful. And another thing that I learned is often the AI talks pretty obscene and stupid things, and it breaks all the time. So you need to be very careful. And I think there was a workshop and there will be presentations which will explain how to handle this. But when you've experienced that firsthand, it's like I did with my apps. I know already that this happens. It's not just something that I wrote or heard on a conference. I know that it's really like that and how I can deal with it. And like in summary, I guess we are all juniors now, but it's not said that we'll be just simple AI operators. We can do better. And yeah, new instruments are new, like all these ChatGPTs and quotes and cursors and so on. They are tools, they are new, but they are just tools. You can learn them, it's not that hard. And of course, we need to follow the advice of Jacob Nielsen, be agents of change. Everything is in your own hands. And with that said, we are not doomed. Everything is going to be all right.